Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. This is David here. It's Wednesday, April 1st, 2020. So I hope everyone has a happy April. I know with this corona thing going on, a lot of people are at home now, just waiting it out and seeing if it gets any better. And I think it will. It'll get better. It might get worse for a while. When the cold weather sets in again, but now that the warmer weather is upon us, we can count on some respite or some relief from this malady that's affected a lot of people. So anyway, we pray for their welfare and well-being. Anyone who's experiencing any illness or whose family members are experiencing any illness, we hope and pray that very soon everyone will be healed from this thing. So what I'm doing today, I prepared a little slideshow to introduce my correspondence course from the Soul Evolution School of Vedic Astrology, Part 1, which is the foundational course. I've been working on these courses for a few years now, teaching my students. So we have Part 1, Foundations, Part 2, Intermediate, and Part 3, the Advanced. That sounds pretty simple, but there's a lot of material to cover. So I try to make these courses as simple as possible. I'm going to be preparing videos on each chapter, short videos, and there is a 300-page book that goes along with the course. So those who like to read, they can read the book, or you can watch the videos. I would suggest that you read the text and watch the videos too, and there'll be short quizzes at the end of each chapter. I believe there's 18 chapters in the book. So let's start this slideshow. Okay. So anyway, like I said, I'm David Roberts. I'm your instructor. I am a certified Vedic astrologer. They call it an Ayurvedic astrologer. An Ayurvedic astrologer also understands healing and medicine. I am a holistic healing practitioner, so I have studied herbology and medicine. Traveled around the world to learn Chinese medicine. I traveled to Thailand and stayed there for some time, and also in Hawaii, where I studied under a pretty famous astrologer, Angela Longo, if you know her. She now is a teacher at the Tao Garden in Thailand. So like I mentioned before, all the students will receive it's actually more like a workbook than a textbook. It's written like that with a lot of illustrations, and the chapters are fairly short, and they're jam-packed with information. So between the text and the videos that I'll prepare, you should learn everything that you need to learn. And I'm always available for questions. So this gives you an idea what's included in the Foundations course. Here's the table of contents from the introduction to the appendix, which gives you a step-by-step how to read a Vedic chart. What I like to do today is cover a little bit of information that is included in Chapter 3. That's why I have this bolded here. Lesson 3, Characteristics of the Planets. Okay, let's get started with the planets. So we have, in Vedic astrology, there are 9 planets. They're known as grahas. Graha means to seize or to grasp. That's a Sanskrit word. So the planets, they delve out our karmas, so to speak. And so they basically seize or grab or grasp our consciousness as we go through life. Let me clarify that by saying we always have free will as we go through life. So these grahas, it's not like they have a hold of us or they possess us, but they're the energy field, so to speak, that we are surrounded by is planetary energies and karmic energies that the planets or the grahas are responsible to instill or instigate, so that we learn how to advance spiritually throughout life. So the first planet is Surya. That's the sun. So you'll hear these Sanskrit terms because all the planets are actually have different names than we're used to. Chandra is the moon. Mangala is Mars. Buddha is Mercury. Brihaspati is Jupiter. Shukra is Venus. Shani is Saturn. Rahu is the north node of the moon. And Ketu is the south node of the moon. Grahas, what I've written down here, grahas are not spheres, objects, gases, or masses. They're personalities in the universe that are responsible to filter that karmic energy to us. That sounds kind of fantastic, in the very least. How could a person be responsible to do that to each and every one of us 4 billion people in the world? Well, on levels in other astral realms, we really can't understand exactly how this is done. But we can get an idea. And then the more you study Vedic astrology, the more you'll be able to understand this. It actually explains it all. So I put the grahas are cosmic controllers of the planets. So the planets in our solar system, they're like, you could think of them as relay stations. So the energies are being relayed to the planets, and as the planets are moving throughout space, and in certain combinations with one another, they're giving us that energy. And that's the energy that we deal with as we're moving through space on Earth, of course. So let's get to the planets a little bit. That was a little bit of Vedic astrological philosophy. But let's get to the planets. So the first natural sign, the first sign of the zodiac is Aries, and many of you know that. It's the same in mostly every astrological system agrees that Aries is the first sign. So just keep that in mind. It's very basic. Aries is number 1. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, and it's ruled by Mars. I have Mars up here. So we have Aries ruled by Mars, number 1. Number 2, the second sign is Taurus. Taurus is the second natural sign, and that's ruled by Venus. Gemini is next sign, ruled by Mercury. Cancer, next sign, fourth natural sign, ruled by the moon. The fifth natural sign is Leo, ruled by the sun. The sixth natural sign is Virgo, ruled by Mercury down here. The 7th natural sign is ruled by Venus. Now you'll notice many of these signs, at least 5 of them, have dual rulership. So you'll notice that Taurus is ruled by Venus and Libra is ruled by Venus. And we come around to Mars, which rules Scorpio. Scorpio is the 8th natural sign. Mars also rules Aries. There are different types of Mars, which we'll get into. But nevertheless, it is the planet Mars that deals out that karmic energy. The 9th natural sign is Sagittarius and ruled by Jupiter. The 10th natural sign of Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And the 11th natural sign of Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Both of these are ruled by Saturn. I believe in Western astrology, Uranus rules Aquarius, but we're going to concentrate just on the 9 planets of the Vedic system. We're not going to look. We may bring them into the picture occasionally. They are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, but we're going to concentrate on the 9 Vedic planets. And last but not least is the 12th natural sign of Pisces, and that is ruled by Jupiter. Tropical in the Western system, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So this is a depiction of what we just talked about. If you let me get my drawing program here. That would help a little bit if you just wait just a second. Let me get this, and I will be able to draw with this marker. And do. Okay. All right. Here we go. So the first, you'll notice this is a lot different than what you're normally used to for all those Westerners who see charts in a circle, and that is the Western zodiac. This is the North Indian Vedic or Hindu zodiac, which you'll see it makes a lot of sense as we learn how to use this one. We have here the first natural sign, which is Aries, ruled by Mars, like we said before. There's just a few little qualities of that sign, which we'll be learning. So Apachaya means decreasing. The first house is a trine and an angle, and it's a cardinal sign or a movable sign. So we'll be learning which signs are increasing or decreasing, angles or trines or other, if they're cardinal signs, if they're mutable signs, if they're fixed signs. Like for example, we have Taurus, the next sign here, ruled by Venus. It's Apachaya, decreasing, and it's succedent. Succedent means it follows the cardinal. So the cardinals are actually the stronger of the signs, the angular signs, like Aries, Cancer, over here, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. These are the symbols for those signs. This is Capricorn. These are the angular signs that in the chart, they show the most force in the chart. And they're considered angular or movable or cardinal. It's means the same thing, basically. So we have Apachaya and we have Upachaya. Upachaya means increasing. Apachaya means decreasing. So they decrease as time goes on, they decrease in their strength. Upachaya means increasing in strength. So we have here, and we're not going to go through them all right now, but you just get an idea. So we have Mercury as the ruler of Gemini, which is increasing in strength over time. And that's a Caden house. So it increases in strength, but at the same time, it's a weaker sign. The Caden houses, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, are the cadent signs. They're also the mutable signs of the zodiac. And they're very special in that when we're getting into aspects, you'll find that these 4 signs communicate a lot better than they do with other signs. Does that mean that because you may be a Gemini and somebody else is a Sagittarius, that you communicate very well? Well, possibly. We have to look at the chart and see what planets are there and see where their rulers are located. But in general, those particular signs have open communication with one another. And we'll be learning that. It's a little more advanced, but we'll be learning that within the foundational course. So we have sign number 1, Aries, and we have sign 12 over here, Pisces. Pisces is the 12th natural sign of the zodiac. And we'll be relating these to houses also. So when we look at the first house in a chart, that is the first place we want to look in order to get an idea about the rest of the chart. But we will get into that eventually. So I don't expect everybody to understand everything that I'm saying right now. This is just a general overview. As you read your lessons and do your quizzes and ask questions, pertinent and relevant questions, you'll understand it a lot better. Okay, so let me erase this, erase those marks. Okay. The first planet we'll talk about is the ruler of the sun. So when you hear these names for the planets like Surya and Soma and Mangala and Buddha and Brihaspati, so forth, these are entities that are rulers of those planets. They are not the planets themselves. Although they may exist in different lokas or different worlds or astral realms, and they may call it Surya Loka. Surya Loka is actually the sun in our solar system, the one that we see every day that warms our planet. So this particular personality, the ruler of the sun, Surya, or Surya Narayan, as he's known, is the ruler of the sun. So the sun is considered a milder malefic planet. It is a malefic planet. It is a malefic, can be positive also, because it's considered malefic, because it's fire. It burns. So we consider that a more fierce energy. But the sun is considered a milder malefic planet. So it's fire. The qualities of this planet are fire, it's fixed, and it's male. Now, where do we get that information from? The sun is the ruler of Leo. Leo is a fire sign. It's a fixed sign, and it's considered a male sign. It has more masculine, aggressive energy. So I have some some other information about the sun here. If we look down, I'll put on my glasses and I'll be able to see a little more clearly here. So the sun represents the natural fifth house. So it's the fifth sign. It represents the natural fifth house. When you see the fifth house, you think of the sun. Well placed, promotes awareness, harmony, intelligence, steadiness. We think of the sun as steady. And not well placed, it may cause a lack of confidence and self-esteem. Authority issues, another key word for the sun. The sun is the king. The sun stands for authority. It also can stand for the government. So someone with a ill-placed sun may show a lack of confidence. We don't want to judge any one planet in the chart and take things out of context or isolate that planet. So that's number one rule to remember when you're reading a chart. No planet is isolated in the chart. You don't judge a planet like that because there are 8 other energies that affect the sun. So the sun can be getting help. If it's a debilitated sun, it could be getting help from Jupiter or the moon or Mars and boosting its power like that. So we don't just say because someone's sun is in a certain place that it's not a good sun. And on the other hand, if the sun is well placed in the chart, like, for example, a sun in Aries, which is considered exalted, it may have some problems by being aspected by Saturn or by Mercury or by Venus or Rahu. So the sun may be getting some malefic energy. The sun is milder malefic, but it may be getting some more heavier malefic energy directed to it, which may cause some difficulty with the sun in somebody's chart. So again, we don't want to take any one planet, isolate it, and give a description like that. There's much more that we need to understand before we judge these planets, and we'll be learning that. Okay, so let's go on to the next. Oh. Okay, next planet is the moon. The moon, called Chandra. There's many names. You may hear me say different names for the moon, like Soma is another name for the moon. But another one of the names is Chandra. Chandra, ruler of the moon. So Chandra is responsible for that lunar energy that we all experience in our lifetime. So the moon is considered a benefic planet. But there's more. It's benefic when it's waxing. And it's malefic when it's waning. So it has some good energy naturally when it's a bit in benefic position in the chart. And naturally, it would have some more negative connotations to it when it's waning in the chart. And we'll get into waxing and waning moons and exactly what that means and what it looks like in the chart and astronomically too. That's very important to understand. So it's a water planet. It's cardinal energy, the moon, and it's female. It's feminine by nature. And it represents, I'm not going to go over everything here, but you'll be able to watch this video over and over and over again till you understand it. Represents the natural 4th house. It's the 4th sign of the zodiac. Well placed, promotes awareness, harmony, intelligence, and balance. And not well placed may be fickle, disturbed, or unsteady. It represents the female ruler and the queen, the mother. Public emotions is another good indication or description. Emotional. So the moon is emotional. So we have the king being the sun and the queen as the moon. We're not going to go over all the planets today. We'll go over them in future videos. But I just wanted to go over the two main planets in the chart, the sun and the moon. Very important planets. Have a lot of influence on the personality. So the certification course, Fundamentals of Western Vedic Astrology, I call it. So we'll be studying the planets, the signs, the houses, ascendants, and rulers of the different signs as planets. Planets are rulers of different signs, and that's very important to understand. How the planets are aspecting one another, what conjunctions are, and what are yogas. Yogas are nothing more than the conjunctions of specific planets in the chart that have a lot of significance, and we'll be going over some major yogas. When you've completed this course, you'll be able to do a natal chart analysis, which is the beginning of astrology. We'll look at harmonic charts, which are sub-charts. Every sign, you can make actually a chart out of every single sign or placement in one's horoscope. We can do a complete chart based on that. So we'll be learning how to do that. That will give us further and deeper information on the person. And we'll learn some simple astronomy. I think every astrologer should understand or what the actual stars and planets are doing in outer space. We're not going to get into it deep. It's not going to be an astronomy course like you'd find in a university or even in high school. But we're going to relate important facts as they relate to astrology. For brevity's sake, we don't want to make this video too long. It's just an introduction to the first course. I'll be making videos to describe the other two courses also. I have books written on all three courses. One more thing, let me just mention, the cost of the course, I've kept it very low. I know right now, especially since a lot of people are out of work, they are very concerned about their money. Usually a course like this, it could cost anywhere from $400 to $1,000 for a course like this. It's going to be jam-packed. I'm not going to spare anything in this course. When you finish this course, you will know how to cast a chart. As a special price, I would offer this for $199. I'm offering certifications for each level. When you finish all three courses, you'll get a certification and a title also. And that title proves that you are a full-fledged Vedic astrologer. So anyway, this course will be, you do it at your own pace. So whenever you finish, hopefully you can finish within a year, but I think some of you, considering your home right now and have time to do these things, you could finish this course in 2-3 months. I would say it's very possible. But give yourself 6 months to do it. And if you need to take longer, fine. It doesn't matter, really. It's up to you. So I will have more information about this course on my YouTube channel. And I hope hope everyone's doing okay. And you all take care. Signing out for now.